Before Hogwarts was a legacy, it was a promise, one built on wonder, loyalty, and unforgettable characters. For a generation, the Harry Potter saga defined fantasy storytelling, and when it ended in 2011, it didn't feel like goodbye. It felt like the beginning of something even bigger. At least that's what Warner Brothers hoped. A planned 5-film franchise, ambitious from the start, J.K. Rowling at the helm, making her screenwriting debut, a deeper dive into the magical world everyone loved. But just a few years later, Fantastic Beasts collapsed into one of the biggest franchise failures of the past decade. So what happened? How did a studio with the most successful fantasy intellectual property in the world misfire so badly? This is the rise and fall of Fantastic Beasts, and how it shattered the wizarding world. When Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them hit theaters in 2016, expectations were cautiously high. It wasn't a direct sequel. There were no Harry, Ron, or Hermione, but it was still Hogwarts adjacent. Same universe, same magic. The film was inspired by a fictional textbook from the Potter world, and Rowling herself was writing the screenplay. The logic? If anyone could expand this universe, it was her. And the first film did okay. It pulled in $814 million worldwide. The cast, led by Eddie Redmayne as Newt Scamander, brought charm and quirk. The creatures were fun. The tone felt nostalgic but fresh. Sure, it didn't have the heart of the original saga, and the plot was a bit convoluted, but fans stayed optimistic. WB had committed to 5 films. This was just the setup, and there were glimmers of hope. Fans online speculated about where it could go. The rise of Grindelwald, the history of Dumbledore, maybe even a young McGonagall. There were fan-made timelines, artwork, Reddit threads mapping out each book that could be adapted. People were invested. For many, this wasn't just a movie. It was the first step in a grand return to the wizarding world. You could feel the anticipation. For some, seeing that familiar WB logo fade into that soft glow of magic again was enough to spark tears. This was a homecoming. Then came The Crimes of Grindelwald in 2018, and things got dark, fast. The second film was supposed to raise the stakes. Instead, it raised confusion. The story was tangled. Characters appeared and disappeared without logic. Big revelations felt forced. And the tone? Somewhere between political thriller and magical soap opera. Even worse, audiences were starting to feel disconnected. Grindelwald, the big villain, wasn't menacing. He was vague. Dumbledore was barely in it. And Newt, the lead character, was sidelined in his own franchise. Box office dropped to $654 million, a major dip from the first. Critics slammed it. Fans were divided, and the backlash began. People who had once camped out for midnight book releases were now questioning whether they even cared anymore. Behind the scenes, chaos was brewing. Johnny Depp, cast as Grindelwald, became a lightning rod for controversy. Legal battles with Amber Heard dominated headlines. Petitions flew in every direction, some demanding his removal, others defending him. Warner Brothers eventually asked him to resign. He was replaced by Mads Mikkelsen in the third film. Reflecting on the situation, Mikkelsen later said in an interview, "It was chaotic, and the pressure was enormous. You just try to honor the character the best you can." Meanwhile, J.K. Rowling herself sparked a global backlash for her statements on gender identity. For the first time, large segments of the fan base turned away. Hashtags like RIP J.K. Rowling trended. The once united Potter community fractured. Suddenly, Fantastic Beasts wasn't just a struggling franchise. It was a PR nightmare. And PR matters. The original Potter series thrived on fan goodwill, midnight releases, online forums, cosplay communities. Fantastic Beasts, by contrast, found itself steeped in division and controversy. Longtime fans were now forced to reconcile their love for a world with their disappointment in its creator. That tension drove many away entirely. The third film, The Secrets of Dumbledore, was released in 2022. It was supposed to course correct, recenter the story, reignite interest. It didn't. The plot was still messy, the pacing uneven, and the stakes unclear. Dumbledore's backstory and once the most anticipated reveals felt muted. Mikkelsen was praised for his performance, but even he couldn't save it. The film earned just $407 million globally, less than half of what the first one made, and Warner Brothers hit pause. No official cancellation, but no sign of the promised fourth or fifth films either. The wizarding world had gone quiet. For a franchise that once dominated pop culture, the silence was deafening. So what really went wrong? Let's start with the biggest issue, the story. Fantastic Beasts never knew what it wanted to be. Was it a whimsical creature hunting adventure? A dark war drama? A political thriller? A Dumbledore origin story? It tried to be all of them, and failed at all of them. By shifting focus constantly, the franchise lost its heart. Fans couldn't latch onto a clear journey, and worst of all, it sidelined its own protagonist. Newt Scamander started as the charming lead. By film 2, he was barely a side character. Compare that to Harry Potter: one hero, one arc, 8 clear steps. Fantastic Beasts? It was all smoke and no wand. Even the title became misleading. By the third film, the actual beasts were barely relevant. They felt like set dressing in a political thriller with wands. In many ways, Fantastic Beasts suffered the same fate as other overextended franchises, like The Hobbit, Percy Jackson, or even Star Wars sequel trilogy. Too many rewrites, not enough vision. Then there's the tonal whiplash. The original Potter films matured with their audience. From light and magical to dark and emotional, Fantastic Beasts just ping-ponged. One scene was a quirky beast chase. The next, a baby being murdered. Literal whiplash. It alienated both kids and adults. The very audiences it needed. You couldn't bring your kids to it, but it also wasn't compelling enough for older fans. Next came something more invisible, but just as damaging: the studio interference. Warner Brothers wanted another billion-dollar saga, but instead of letting the story grow organically, they forced a 5-film roadmap. Before the first movie even came out, there was no room to adapt, no freedom to evolve. Every plot twist felt mandated. Every new character felt like a checklist item. It felt like a franchise built backwards. Marketing strategy first, story second. You could feel the corporate fingerprints all over it. And that's the thing. You can't manufacture magic. You have to nurture it. And then there's the loss of magic. The wizarding world at its best felt alive. Hogwarts was a character. The spells, the houses, the music, they were all stitched into your memory. Fantastic Beasts had none of that. No memorable soundtrack, no iconic locations, no sense of wonder. Instead of broomsticks and friendship, we got politics and plot twists. Instead of the warmth of the burrow or the terror of the Forbidden Forest, we got ministry meetings and confusing bloodline reveals. The soul was missing, but all of that still leaves out the one group who built this world into a phenomenon: the fans. They tried to care. There were fan theories, artwork, Reddit discussions, even calls to retcon the series into a streaming reboot. But when the studio goes silent, hope fades. By the third film, many viewers didn't even know it was released. The magic was gone, replaced with fatigue. Some fans have imagined a better version, a rebooted saga starting with Ilvermorny, the American Wizarding School. Others hoped for a Marauders era story, young James, Sirius, and Snape. The ideas were there. The passion was there. The execution wasn't. And what if they'd started with Ilvermorny instead of Newt? Could the US wizarding world have opened up a whole new era? One full of fresh characters, modern themes, and a cultural shift that resonated with a new generation. There was a hunger for stories that expanded the lore, not muddled it. And the saddest part, it didn't have to be this way. There's real love for the wizarding world. People wanted more. Hogwarts Legacy, the video game, became a global hit. The appetite is still there, but the franchise fumbled. Instead of building carefully, like Marvel did, they assumed the brand was enough. They forgot that stories need soul. They chased complexity over clarity, controversy over connection, plot over people. And so, the most promising fantasy expansion of the decade collapsed. Fantastic Beasts didn't just fail commercially, it failed emotionally. It didn't build trust, it didn't build memories. And in the end, that's what a franchise is made of. Today, the wizarding world is in limbo. A rebooted Harry Potter TV series has already been confirmed by HBO. New spin-offs are being explored behind the scenes. But even with all that in motion, one thing is clear: trust has been broken. Even the cast of the original series have been cautious. Daniel Radcliffe has distanced himself from Rowling, saying he wanted to support trans fans who felt betrayed. Emma Watson has spoken in support of trans rights. It's not just a brand conflict, it's a cultural one. Some fans still dream of a course correction, a story that bridges Fantastic Beasts and the original saga. Others think it's time to let the magic rest, because sometimes the most powerful spell is knowing when to stop. Let us know what you think. Did Fantastic Beasts deserve better? Could the wizarding world still be saved? Drop a comment and hit like if you want more deep dives into failed franchises, broken universes, and the stories that could have been. Thanks for watching, and welcome to our channel. Some fans still hold out hope that HBO's new reboot will do justice to the books, telling the full story over 7 seasons, with time to explore the characters and arcs that the movies had to rush. But others wonder, will it recapture the heart or just repackage the brand? Would starting over bring back the magic, or just prove that even the greatest stories can't survive corporate overreach?